Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Yoruus speaking and welcome to the summary video for multiplayer game number 113. As usual, spoiler alert, if you do not want to know how the game went, stop watching right now and go to the first position of the playlist. The link should be somewhere around where I'm pointing my fingers here. But if you do want to know how the game went, so you can decide if you want to watch it or not, or you already watched the game and you want to hear me theorycraft a little bit, I invite you to watch the game. Now, this game was played on 16th January. Now, this is actually, you can see, happy birthday Inca's present. I had my birthday on 17th January, so like 1 hour after this game started, my birthday started. And I actually rolled Inca, which I was quite happy about, because Inca is immensely cool and immensely strong. Now, I've got in this game Tony the Bomb, Trough, Cleftor, Wingers, and Ranma. Okay, now I probably do not remember correctly who plays who, but I believe Trough is also on Shanghai, Tony the Bomb is on Hans, Cleftor is Maya, Wingers and Ranma. One of them is on Austria, and actually the sixth, the Civ, I do not remember, but hopefully we can check it out. We can check it out later at this summary, because as I said, this game was played like a month ago, so this is also gonna be refreshing my memories about the game in here. So Inca, and a pretty nice, decent start location. Now, I hate such starts. I hate such starts because it seems like a good start, but when you think about it a little bit like longer, it actually is not that great of a start. Now, first of all, you have a choice. You go on the coast or you go on the mountain. You cannot get both, right? Which is a slight problem. Now, also, considering the coast, there's no sea resources, right? So yes, you are on the coast, you can work on the cargo ships, which are tremendously better than anything else, but still you do not have any useful ties later on in the game, because when you look at it, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 tiles, 12, even 13 tiles that you cannot absolutely work on later on, unless there's like other signs. So you can't put a great person there. You really don't want to work 2 food because it's like totally useless in the late game. So theoretically the cap looks cool, but it does not have a late game potential. Basically, late game, what you want to have is as much tiles as possible if you want to grow like tradition capital. So overall, yes, it's a cool start. It's a heavy production start in the early game. Gold is awesome, sheep are awesome, deer is awesome as well, river is awesome, coast is awesome, no mountain is not awesome, and no water resources is not awesome. Basically, this is about the starting location. So somewhere around turn 22, I believe I had a pretty decent start. Now the land is semi-good, I would say. And I mean like semi-good. Now, well, semi-good. Actually the position is quite good. Now, oh, Ranma, China, there we go. Ranma was on China. Wingers on Austria, Trough on Shanghai, and Cleftor as my empire. So super strong civs in this game. And Tony on Hans. That felt a little bit problematic. But thankfully he was far away from me, and he actually was bordering with China, because you can see on the map, basically their capitals are so close to each other. They're probably bound to be at war at some point or the game. Well, basically like possibility of war between Hans and China is like 100%. Either Hans attack China early game with super extra duper horse archers, or China attacks Hans with super extra crazy chukos in the mid game. Well, you can't even say it mid game, like later early game. Hey kiddo, what's up? Oh, yo, not much. I just hit, don't look at my face. I just hit the Pantheons, turn 29. So I manage to snatch religious idols, Incan pantheon, plus culture, plus fate from gold resources, which is quite awesome. And I was kind of thinking like that I do want to expand a little bit, and I definitely want to expand. Now, I'm surrounded, I did not say it like before, but can we actually like get it? Chinese Pantheon plus 4 Fate from Natural Wonders, and Hunnic Pantheon plus 1 Culture from Pastures. Now, let's look at the map. Basically, I know that, I believe like Cleftor is somewhere in here. I don't know it at this stage of the game yet. I have my 2 coastal cities up and running. Though the land, like, if you think like about, there's no food literally. Yes, there's theoretically no food, but at the same time there's a tiny little bit of food. Because this is Inca, so like terrace farms are actually workable later on in here. So as I said, this is not like a super crazy late game land, but it's decent for, let's say, early late game land, basically. So there's also Old Faithful that I would love to get in here. Actually, like, this land is uncontested, and I was thinking about planting the Old Faithful here. And I do believe I was also planning to get another coastal city to feed my capital just a little bit. Not like the super crazy city, but at least a city I can feed cargo ships to all those cities. So it'll be 3 cities on mountains and 1 city not on a mountain. Let's say mediocre. But heavy production, definitely heavy production. That's beautiful about Inca. Inca can grow while maintaining huge production, which is just so amazing about Inca. It's just super crazy. Now, this is a slight mistake in here. This would be like a super crazy super terrace farm, but I messed up totally. And I was like, I believe I started to make a terrace farm there, or I did want to start to make a terrace farm, but I went for iron, and as soon as I discovered iron, I was like saying, I'm 100% sure that iron is going to be on this darn tile. If I could get a terrace farm on this one, that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7 food, 3 hammer style. That would be like wow, pure craziness. But I did mess that up, sadly. And it's gonna be an iron tile eventually, I'm afraid. So, circle around city-states, and Hans are with China. So this is like it's a dream position. Dream Inca position in this game, basically. Though land could, of course, be a little bit better, but it is a dream geopolitical situation. Really awesome. Okay, we've got turn 58, and this was a very quick game for Mr. Ranma, and like super quick game. Now, most of the time when you are neighboring Hans, you either want to defend or plant cities on defensive spots, and you definitely don't want to steal a natural wonder sitting right next to Hans' capital. And Ranma was super punished for taking away Wonder in front of Hans. So Tony basically crushed him. Just crushed him. Now, you could think like, why did he went for China? Well, it's kind of reasonable. If you have China there, you want to get rid of it. But at the same time, and I want to say it right now before we go to the later parts of this game, because Ranma is, I think, one of the biggest things that influenced my game later on. Cleftor is here behind city-states. I'm bordering Hans, so it will be like a natural thing to go for me later on. But theoretically, I'm trying to get some defenses up, but those are not defenses that would work versus a lot of very well upgraded horse archers that just went through China like through butter. So I'm not really prepared. If Tony would want to decide to attack me, he would just kill me in here, most probably. Maybe I could defend Cusco, but definitely not Machu. I would definitely lose Machu, and Cusco would be quite hard to defend. Yes, I'm Inca, yes, I got hills, I could make roads and stuff like that, so perhaps I would manage to defend Cusco, but would definitely slow down my game. But after Tony killed Ranma, we actually started to sort of live in peace, and Tony was trying to catch up for the late game. Now, mostly because of Cleftor, because Cleftor is like sitting on Maya. As usual, he has quite a nice game going on, and Tony is probably thinking like, I'm gonna try to catch up to Mr. Cleftor so I can do something in the late game. Though later on, as I will show you, that was not his only reason. That was not his only reason. As usual, I show you the turn 100, so you can theoretically look around how the game looks like between different games, have a good feeling how the games are going. Now, I do not remember exactly how I'm managing such a huge gold income, but I am, which is super crazy awesome. I did get a lot of cool wonders. I did get Machu, as I said, this is quite heavy hammer. Come on, how it's called? Hammerland. Those cities are growing quite nicely. I added 2 more cities, so the empire looks strong. And I have a very good gold income. And probably you've noticed I'm building a statue of Zeus. Yes, I went for honor. Now, don't ask me why I did that, because I do not remember. I would need to like rewatch the game, but I did win honor in here, trying something different in here, and we had a theoretically peaceful life with Tony. As you can see, Tony is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities. I'm on 5. Now, and Tony is not keeping army, as I said. He's like totally glass cannoning right now, trying to catch up after the war, after taking a lot of cities. So he stopped producing army whatsoever. Now, in my mind, I do have a plan. And that plan is to crush Tony. The plan is to crush Tony. Now, Trav and Wings are not really doing that great. The true threat is Cleftor, but kinda in my mind is I cannot go for Cleftor if I won't kill Tony. Now, this is a slight issue though, because I am falling behind to Cleftor. As usual, I'm falling behind in science to Cleftor, and I invested into something strange like honor. So this is like honor game, and I do want to kill Tony, but the huge thing that is working in my favor is good religion, good gold income, good hammers. So you can see I've got a lot of gold saved up and I'm building a lot of galleasses. And I do want to attack Tony on a lot of fronts. Yes, I do want to kill Tony this game. And this is somewhat my preparations. This is my preparations to kill Tony. And the funny part, he knows it. As I said, we were like super friends, declaration of friendship, open borders. You can see Hanik Archer in here. I'm kind of trying to block him off, basically. So he sees a bit of this land. He sees units in here. Of course, he does not see the rest of those units around this place. But this is like one of those super crazy production games. When on turn 110 you have the time to do economy and build up war, save up gold, and actually be able to produce so many troops. As you can see, I don't have crossbows yet. So it's like galleasses, no frigates yet, so every tech is slowed down, and I'm just waiting to attack Mr. Tony. And 3 turns later, the attack commences. Now, I want to say a couple of things. As you probably imagine, Tony has no chances in here. He has no frigates. I have tons of army. Now, Tony, usual Tony. A tiny little bit of salty Tony, basically, in here. Now, his reasoning for this happening is several things, basically. Number 1 is he's saying that he could have killed me, which is most probably true, instead of killing China, but he decided to kill China instead, and don't attack me because he don't wants to kill me because I'm streaming. Now, that's the reasoning from Tony. Now, Possibly it's partially true, but still, after he took China, a wise choice for him would be to try to echo up. But one thing that I absolutely don't understand, he saw what's cooking. He saw what's cooking, and he was totally unprepared. He was totally unprepared, and I do believe he had time to do it. Now, I have no idea what's the reasonings from Tony in this game, actually, that he did not put too much of a fight. Yes, he put a tiny little bit of a fight, but not really that much. Not really that much, so he got crushed, basically. Well, looking at that, if Tony wouldn't be a little bit salty and like not saying that he did not kill him because I'm streaming, which lately he's not keeping to that rule, thankfully. But it would be kind of strange, but also natural that he actually killed China first. It seems like natural that what he did was actually right for him, that he went for China first, take off the threat on his flank, the threat that actually forward settled him, took his wonder, theoretically took his wonder, and then try to catch up. Though he could probably like pump the army up and try to kill me, but then probably he would never had a chance to catch up to Mr. Cleftor. So I would say that his actions were quite logical, and his reasoning not to go to war with me was incorrect, because maybe he could kill me, maybe not, maybe China could ally with me and try to kill him, I have no idea. But in my mind, the logical course of action he took was actually correct. Now, one thing I do not understand, though, why he did not prepare to fight versus me. That's one thing I do not understand, though theoretically, yes, declaration of friendship, but, well, sometimes, sometimes you gotta break them, right? And Dove doesn't mean like dealing with whispers, and we haven't dealt in whispers, which is what I honor the most. Deals in whispers are saint, and declaration of friendship most of the times means nothing. It's just a start to get the other things rolling, and basically the relations between Civ, like the mechanics in game. But we haven't made a deal with Tony that we are gonna be in peace. If I remember correctly, I hope I'm remembering correctly. Please don't punish me for the lack of memory. So we haven't made any like this. We're not gonna fight until Cleftor is gonna die. And I felt this is like my best chance. Get rid of the Han's problems before Tony's gonna catch up. All those 8 cities gonna kick in. I need to take him down first, and then deal with the real threat. That is Cleftor. Tony was fighting quite a lot. So as you can see, there's not too much army left. There's not too much army left in here. And he made me pay a bit for a lot of cities later on, because there's like city in the south there still for retaking. I had to free up the city-states, now working on Antwerp, then need to probably, I believe I did kill Baradur, and then I made peace. Now, the one thing that is quite cool, I'm still at positive gold, maybe my science is not super crazy, but I'm positive gold, and I have tons of city-state allies, and because I'm freeing city-states from Huns right now, I will have them allies as well. Though, of course, in the meantime, Cleftor is rocking science as usual, but now I've got the half of the map for myself. Now, the only problem is, and a lot of culture, I forgot to mention it, but the only problem right now for me is, can I actually kill Cleftor with Great Wall before he reaches the techs like infantry and other stuff like that? Because the next natural target was Mr. Cleftor, and as you can see, I'm going for artilleries just to start pushing on Cleftor. And I don't remember if I actually have honor finished, but at this moment of the game, but I am like going honor to fill out honor absolutely, and then going for autocracy. So to buy up stuff. So I'm working on gold, and I'm working on going for artillery as fast as possible right now to try to catch Cleftor before he's gonna have superior tech. And this is basically the problem. Turn 141. So I'm attacking very, very hard into Cleftor. As you can see, I have no public schools. This is the problem when you go to war and you commit so much effort to go to war, like getting artilleries, crossbows, frigates, and all that stuff. You're far, far behind in tech. Now, as you can see, Cleftor is already at war infantry. Okay? A great war infantry, which is a slight problem because artilleries do not deal that well versus great war infantry. But thankfully, behind my empire there's huge production lead, huge gold lead, huge cultural lead, honor filled out, and autocracy. So I do have, in my opinion, a slight advantage, and as you can see, I've got tons of generals, 1, 2, 3 generals. I'm trying to pick off units. I never really threatened this, well, me like a tiny little bit, just almost, but then Great War Infantry shows up, bam, and it's over. My frigates that I made to attack, as you can see, actually I never got the Han City in the south. I'm just looking at the map. So now the problem was basically, well, I used my frigates, I forgot to say about it, I used my frigates to actually attack one of Cleftor cities. So yes, I was able to take down one of Cleftor cities. But I couldn't reach his 3 core cities in here. Great Wall, I don't believe he went for artillery. Actually, he definitely not went for artillery, so Great Wall was in place. I couldn't really, like, take the city down and snatch it with my superior numbers. So I needed to plant a city in here since the settler and use my generals to actually do something about it and gain some land. And it was quite problematic. It was quite problematic. He also had a couple of generals, and as you can see, this is not going well. Now, Songhai and Austria did leave. They voted themselves irrelevant because their game was not that solid in this particular game. So they couldn't really compete either with Cleftor. Well, maybe they could like do something with Cleftor, but that wouldn't be really fair. It was like me against Cleftor. And they didn't want to get involved, but they also knew they do not have the chance versus the victor of this conflict. So I can't push into it. Yes, I got citadels in here trying to work around, and basically the citadels, the only thing that is actually saving him here, because Great Wall is unpenetrable, he's got foreign legions, he's got Great War infantry, I got crossbows and artillery, and as you can see, my tech is quite low at best. I mean, like, quite low at best. And I also use my gold, a lot of gold, but I still have some stuff going on in there, and also I got the culture stuff going in here too. So yes, I'm trying to like, I'm streaming the units in here, unit after unit after unit, actually using that he is not having an artillery, so he can't really push into me right now. But also, I cannot push into him because the main damage comes from the citadels, really. I'm like shooting with artillery all the time. They're like shooting and shooting and shooting. I'm losing from time to time in artillery. But the only thing that's keeping me alive in here is a couple of Gatlings and a couple of units sitting in citadels. Without the citadels and honor, that would be a fail so long ago. And I would say I took it even to extreme with citadels saving my butt in this game. I mean, like, problems. I'm like, huge problems. Infantry, hello. And this city is actually being attacked by infantry right now. And I've got only artillery, so I'm like, I'm trying to kill off infantry with citadel damage. Okay? And I'm like desperately trying to get to planes. I'm really desperately trying to get to planes. And it's not working that well. I'm gonna just skip a little bit forward to a very bad situation on the front, I believe. Let's try to find it. Yeah, there we go. Here you look actually at my empire right now. And the problem is, look at this. My units are like in the back trying to fight on in here. And there's like still so much infantry going on in here. And the only damage that I'm dealing is with citadels because like artillery, no way, they just do not do any damage whatsoever. But I've got one little hope left, and that's getting to flight. Getting to flight, I got autocracy, I got the gold, I do believe I got even a couple of great merchants, and then with that extra gold, maybe, just maybe, I can survive. Okay, I don't know how, but I did find my social policies in this particular game, and this is full tradition, full honor, full commerce, and 2 tenants autocracy, which is buying and stealing. Now, let's just hopefully I will just get rid of this one. Now, Cleftor GG'd, but because I like fate bought merchants, I took the gold. and bombers, autocracy bombers, plus Great War infantry, couple of steals from Cleftor, and GG. I mean, like, I was so surprised it worked. It's just purely amazing because I was so darn far behind in science versus Cleftor, but like through some sort of a miracle, it just worked out. It worked out and I killed Cleftor. Though I had a war with Tony, I went like super strange social policies, no rationalism, but it worked. It worked in this particular game. Now, to make a summary and to be absolutely fair about this game, it is a unique game right now. Well, it's a unique game. If you would imagine a very strong player or a player who had a very good game in position of Songhai and Austria, most probably I would have problems with them later on, because it's like turn 163. If you have absolute peace, you could win in 20 turns. So even if I would kill Cleftor, but there would be one more science leader in the back of the map, I will probably never reach him, because nukes would be flying like bam, bam, killing stuff, and I have no options to get to bomb shelters or anything like that. But thankfully, everything worked out quite well in this game, though as I said, it's not like a rule. This is not really like a viable strategy. This time it worked, maybe by a surprise, by a coincidence, thanks to the war from Tony with China, Tony's approach to this game, not killing me or not trying to kill me, not trying to defend, and actually not the greatest day from Wings and Traff on Songhai and Austria. So they couldn't really compete versus certainly not the best science game from you. Well, totally not best science game. And somehow, by persistence, I was able to kill Cleftor, which makes this game super amazing. I really liked it. Yes, it's something absolutely different, but those things happen from time to time. That's why I love experimenting so much, because from time to time, something strange and something cool happens. And just the feeling at the end of the game is just so awesome that you beat a very strong player with very strange tactics, basically. But of course, a lot of stuff had to get into the right places to make it work. And this time it worked. So, thank you very much for the game, everybody. Very cool game. GG, Cleftor, Traff, Wings, Ranma, and Tony. Yes, I will get to those games with you when you win as well. And if you haven't watched the game, I invite you to watch the game. The link to the first position of the playlist should be somewhere around in here. And, well, that's it. So, thank you very much for watching. And see you next time. Best wishes. Yoruus.